Good afternoon. Hope everyone's doing great. I'm Jonathan Hutton from OUTKICK 360 and the Fox Network. And really thank you to everyone for joining us on what is a great and special occasion right here in the Nashville community. I was with the Tennessee Titans radio network since 2005, and I'm here on behalf of the Titans today to say congratulations on what a wonderful accomplishment that's taking place across the street. I'm thrilled and honored to be here celebrating the topping out of the new Ascension St. Thomas Hospital Midtown Surgery and Critical Care Tower, and the ongoing construction and the progress of the construction with the Rehabilitation Hospital in partnership with Kindred Healthcare, who I know are here today as well. We have an exciting program today. Hopefully the weather cooperates and we're able to raise the beam officially. Fingers crossed on that. And before we get there, a big thank you to all of those who have helped make this day possible. I want to thank each of you who have joined us in person today. A quick reminder as we celebrate, please stay masked while you're inside the tent and socially distanced when possible. And we say thank you in advance for all of that. And also extend appreciation to everyone who is tuned in virtually on YouTube with us this evening. We say hello to you and thank you for joining us for this celebration. At this time, I'd like to welcome Father CALIN TAMIIAN, who is the Spiritual Care Director at Ascension St. Thomas, to lead us in reflection and prayer.
Coming up with a Romanian name, CALIN TAMIIAN, it's part of the October celebrations here at St. Thomas. Often Jesus has invited us to pay attention to what is of importance, significance, and life-changing. And as I want to give all the credit to Fahad for the weather that we have and the way in which it is so dramatic, we pay attention to that. We go through that baptism of the rain. But we want to also make sure that we remember in our Baptist and Catholic shared tradition that Jesus invited us to pay attention to that cornerstone, a cornerstone that often can be so easily missed, but makes all the difference. The nature is providing for us such a background of understanding that this hospital of the future is to be here for those cloudy, rainy, windy, difficult days that we experience. But in that, I invite you now, in a moment of prayer, to add your wishes, your hopes, your strength, and in that, to come as a community in which, in this, we invest ourselves for that future in which we hope there will be no more pain, nor sorrow, nor weeping, but the joy of humanity living fully. Amen.
Thank you for those inspiring words, Father CALIN, and thank you, Jonathan, for welcoming all of us here today. It is truly exciting to be with you as we hopefully watch that final steel beam here in a minute be placed atop our surgery and critical care tower. We're here to celebrate Ascension St. Thomas Midtown's more than 100 years of service to this great community, along with our journey in creating a hospital of the future, a hospital that will enhance the quality of care and the experience of every patient we're privileged to serve. I'm proud of what these projects will mean for our community and how they will allow us to advance our commitment to deliver exceptional care. As many of you know, our surgery and critical care tower, as well as our inpatient rehabilitation hospital, are key components of our overall commitment to transformation that we call our Midtown Modernization. Dr. SHUBHADA JAGASIA will share more about these projects and other campus developments in a moment, but I'm personally excited that the patient experience has been considered in the building of this hospital of the future, including ease of access, enhanced wayfinding, boutique retail, dedicated underground parking for each new building, technology-enabled communication zones, and much more. We've kept these important features top of mind for our patients, families, and visitors from the beginning of this project. I'd like to thank our physicians and associates, as well as our patients and family members, for inspiring and guiding us in the design of these significant investments. Construction throughout the pandemic also influenced many of the elements of this design. I'd like to offer a special thanks to our foundation and board president, Bob Higgins, for their generous support throughout the construction of the Midtown Modernization project. Additionally, we are very grateful for Lee Beeman, who is with us this afternoon. He and his family have shown such great support of our system over the years and are closely tied to our Midtown NICU. I'd also like to recognize community officials that are in attendance this afternoon. Metropolitan Nashville Councilman Brandon Taylor, who represents District 21, which includes Ascension St. Thomas Midtown, and Dia Cirillo, Senior Advisor to Nashville-Davidson County Mayor John Cooper. Your attendance is greatly appreciated. I'd like to extend a special thank you to Turner Construction and Gresham Smith for helping turn our vision into a reality where our mission can thrive for centuries to come. I'd also like to share my appreciation for our partnership with Kindred. Together, we're building an acute rehabilitation hospital that will enhance the lives of our patients and our community. And finally, thank you to the communities that we serve. You've always shown our caregivers such great support, and the gratitude, kindness, and love that you have shown to our healthcare community since the pandemic has been incredible. The notes, the flowers, food, prayers keeps our associates strong and will forever be grateful for your thoughtfulness. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Ascension St. Thomas President, Hospital and CEO, SHUBHADA JAGASIA.
Thank you, Tim, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today marks a significant milestone. I think I need to move this down to my level. Today marks a significant milestone in our surgery and critical care tower and rehabilitation hospital. And I'm so pleased that we all get to participate in this celebration together. There are many leaders, many present here with us today, and many of them joining us virtually, who've really made this vision transform into our reality. And I wanted to take a moment to extend my sincere thanks to all of them. It's remarkable that we've continued all this progress during a pandemic. And I'm incredibly proud and thankful to all our physicians, nurses, all our associates and teams within our hospital's healthcare community who have truly made this possible. Our hospital was originally built in 1919 during the Spanish flu. And our founders, the Daughters of Charity, created a place that would care for patients then and for many years to come. And as we build our new campus here, we find ourselves yet again in the midst of another pandemic and creating a hospital that is truly caregiver-inspired and will keep us serving patients for the next 100 years and more to come. That truly emphasizes the fact that we are not only designing, but creating the future of healthcare in Nashville. The topping out ceremony is just one of the many celebrations that we have planned throughout our Midtown Modernization project. Together with our partners, Ascension St. Thomas is proud to invest more than $300 million into this campus, which really allows us to create and continue the dream and hopes and aspirations of our founding sisters, who truly and purposefully built a hospital that is called to serve. I would like to extend a special thank you to my friend and colleague, Fahad Tahir, for all the work that he's done in transforming just a vision of having Midtown Modernization into what we see it to be today. He began this work when he was president and CEO of Ascension St. Thomas Hospital. And Fahad, we all owe you, and especially me, a big debt of gratitude for all that you've done. It truly takes a village to create something of such magnitude and impact. I would like to recognize many of our partners and extend my sincerest thanks to all of them. Our physician leaders and independent practice partners, our spine, ICU, critical care, and rehabilitation, along with surgical clinical care teams, our patient and family advisory council members, our partners at Kindred, the board and committee members of Ascension St. Thomas and Ascension St. Thomas Foundation, our partners at MedExcel, Grisham Smith, and Turner, Touchpoint, R1, and Resource Group, the system leadership team at Ascension National, as well as our local system leadership team within our Tennessee ministry. In addition, I'd like to thank our Midtown senior leadership team and our medical executive committee, along with, finally, our mission team. With our mission at the forefront of our Midtown modernization efforts, Midtown will truly be recognized as a scientifically and also technologically advanced national destination. We are enhancing the way that we are going to provide care within our local community with the new surgery and critical care tower and rehabilitation hospital constructed in partnership with Kindred Healthcare, a modernized exterior to our existing campus to keep up with the new aesthetic of Nashville, expansion to our cancer center, which began its leukemia program in 2020, almost exactly a year ago. Also, a new home for our dedicated Spine Institute to continue the growth that we've seen to make it the biggest program regionally for complex spine patients. A new entrance on Church Street that will allow easy wayfinding and direct access, including dedicated valet. It will lead us directly into our women's hospital. And then, of course, last but not the least, a medical office building, which will allow us to continue care within the continuum for all of our patients. In addition to offering the highest level of scientific and technological advances, our focus also remains on continuing to provide holistic and spiritual healing for our patients. And keeping that in mind, our campus transformation involves including healing gardens where patients, their families, or caregivers can be allowed to have a moment to pause, introspect, and really experience the moment that they're living in a design created by patients and families for patients and families. A few months ago, we honored our 100 years of service at the Midtown campus with a beautiful ceremony in conjunction with Root Nashville, in partnership with them. And what that did was led us to plant 100 trees in honor of every year, to commemorate every year that we have served this local community. We understand that urbanization takes a toll on the environment, and we want to be cognizant of that and maintain a responsible environmental sustainability footprint in everything that we are doing. The trees that we've planted will not only improve the air quality and several other environmental impacts, but will also really create a holistic healing environment for all of our patients' families and be enjoyed by our caregivers as well. As we eagerly await the completion of our project as a whole, today we get the opportunity to look at our flagstone project of the Midtown Modernization, which is our surgery and our critical care tower. The Surgery and Critical Care Tower was designed by clinicians, patients, and their families to truly create a curated patient journey. Every aspect of this journey is focused on convenience, ease of access to a boutique specialty clinical environment. The tower will include 18 operating suites, 63 PACU recovery bays for our patients, an ICU unit consisting of 36 critical care beds, a dedicated entrance and valet, an innovation and learning suite, state-of-the-art sterile processing unit, and a new home for our Spine Institute, which will have a dedicated entrance, a family lounge, and specialized ORs and clinical teams to look after the complex care of our patients. We are also very excited about the Nashville flair that we'll have throughout our campus. So on the screen there, you will see that we have a local cafe, really with products from Muletown Coffee Roasters, which originated from Columbia, Tennessee. The wood paneling on the front of those counters actually comes from the felled trees from the tornado of 2020, a few days before we actually experienced our first COVID case. So lots of great memories there. In addition, on the upper right, you will see that we have local art displayed, giving us the really wonderful healing feel of a gallery-like experience with local art and also retail spaces. And then very importantly, we have healing gardens where our caregivers and families can take a moment to rest and relax and really process what they're going through. In addition to the surgery and critical care tower, we also have the opportunity to recognize our new rehabilitation hospital, which is a joint venture partnership with Kindred Healthcare. This new 40-bed rehabilitation hospital will allow for state-of-the-art rehabilitation for patients that have had strokes, traumatic brain injuries, some spinal cord injuries, or similar conditions. And we anticipate that the opening of our rehabilitation hospital will will happen in spring of 2022. As you can see, these two new facilities are just the beginning of a new standard of healthcare, delivering cutting-edge care to our local community, and I am thrilled to be working on this with all of you. At this time, I'd like to invite Russ Bailey, President, Kindred Healthcare, to share all the advances, exciting advances that are taking place in the rehabilitation hospital. Thank you.
So I'll move this up now. And before I get started with my remarks, have you seen the rainbow behind us today? What an amazing, amazing view, and the promises that that rainbow brings for us. And so I just wanted to make sure that I pointed that out to us today as we begin and share this journey, this long-standing relationship that we have. So Fahad, thank you for everything you've done. I appreciate everybody allowing us to be here today. As was mentioned, my name is Russ Bailey. I'm president of Kindred Rehab, and super excited to be here today with our partners from Ascension St. Thomas as we work to hopefully place that final beam up on the surgery and critical care tower and celebrate our construction progress on the new 40-bed rehabilitation hospital. I do want to break from my typical script here and just say, as was mentioned by both Tim and Dr. JAGASIA already, you know, the progress that's been made associated in the midst of a pandemic has been amazing. And I think of a scripture verse in Galatians 6:9, which says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest." And this is truly what I believe this campus is going to be doing. These buildings are just shells, but the building filled with people to be able to serve the community and reaping the harvest for all those that are here is something that we should celebrate. You know, as we look forward next spring to be bringing these doors open for this new freestanding rehab hospital called Ascension St. Thomas Rehabilitation Hospital. As was mentioned, this 40-bed state-of-the-art facility will address the growing need for inpatient rehab services and improve the lives of Tennessee citizens throughout the partnership that we have here. Ascension St. Thomas Rehabilitation Hospital will provide patient-centered rehab services to those who have experienced a loss of function from an injury or illness, and continue the longevity that the unit that has been here for such a long time has been able to provide, but expanded services. The new results-oriented team will conduct comprehensive rehabilitation evaluations to determine each patient's treatment needs, then deliver a multifaceted program of physical medicine and rehab with care and compassion while striving to provide our patients with superior functional outcomes. As you'll soon see, once this building is enclosed and open, the 66,000 square foot building will feature private rooms, private bathrooms, designated wings, and on the third floor of the building, specialized space for stroke and traumatic brain injury patients. In addition to that, we've got a new function that's being tested out here. Is going to be an outdoor dining terrace that will be on this building too. The main therapy suites will be on the fourth floor, complete with a therapy gym, rooms for multiple therapy protocols, private therapy rooms, cooking therapy rooms, and an activities of daily living suite that will be there too. You know, the therapy gym, as was mentioned, will be outfitted with expansive technologies and therapy services, including augmented reality balance systems, therapy bionics, and a full body exoskeleton. Our main gym will also feature a floor-to-ceiling glass views overlooking downtown Nashville. One of the most amazing things to be able to do is to treat patients and have them actually see outside instead of maybe some of the smaller windows that they've maybe been treating on so far. Lastly, this fourth floor of the hospital will have an outdoor therapeutic terrace featuring a putting green. And the fifth floor is probably what I was talking with Jeremy about earlier today, is that we're super excited about, is that we're already planning for the expansion needs for the community. There'll be about 21,000 square footage that we'll be able to add beds as needed for the local market. Ascension St. Thomas Rehab Hospital will employ approximately 150 team members at its capacity, many of which will be new jobs created for the local market. From clinicians that care for patients, dietary staff, environmental services staff, front desk operators, and other team members who provide a warm, friendly environment for our patients and families. These team members will work within the hospital to provide rehab services for patients recovering for stroke, amputee, brain injury, spinal cord injury, Parkinson's, and the like, as well as so many others that will be needing acute rehab services. We are excited about what lies ahead with the development of this rehab hospital, and will strive to maximize the health, function, and quality of those we serve. It will be our goal to help the patients achieve the best recovery possible and get them home quickly, able to care for themselves and live independently. Again, I want to thank you for joining us today. Thank you for having Kindred Healthcare here. Thank you for having us as a partner in the local community. And I look forward to being back here with all of you when we officially open the doors of Ascension St. Thomas Rehabilitation Hospital and share this amazing facility with the people of Music City. Thank you.
Thank you, Russ, and thank you for the entire Kindred team for the cooperation and partnership that you've shared with us through this project. How special was the rainbow? I mean, it's made the artwork over here. It will be part of the memory that we have from this day, and it brings forth the promise of what is coming in this facility. It also is a good, healthy reminder of what our teams have endured over the past several years to make this come to life. Throughout a global pandemic, throughout significant weather events in the downtown Nashville area, our teams have remained on schedule. Our teams have remained on plan, and they've done so safely. And as I look across the street to see a guy on top of a beam in the wind and the rain, I have to express my appreciation to what they've done each and every day to ensure that this project came to life. So if we just take a second to give them a round of applause and appreciation. I definitely don't think I could do that. As a representative of MedExcel, I'm honored to be here today and share in the special part of this occasion. MedExcel has worked alongside the St. Thomas leadership to bring forth their vision to this complex project. Blending many old things with new, our teams have been innovative and focused on providing quality healthcare solutions. A huge thanks to all the teams involved, the St. Thomas leadership for their partnership and commitment to excellence, our clinical teams, our Nashville community partners, Turner Construction, Gresham Smith, Wolf and Travis Electric, Lee Mechanical, to just name a few. Our associates and community have endured many months of rock grinding, literally feet from their offices, and demolition work that far exceeded what we originally had planned. Multiple buildings needed to be demolished and hauled away for a new foundation to be prepared. A lot of coordination and a few surprises along the way were fun that we got to experience together. For example, a well and an old electrical vault were discovered beneath the buildings that were torn down. A lot of fun that was. Over 3 million pounds of steel and nearly 1,400 concrete trucks have been brought in just to lay the foundation. The sounds of whistles in the background and the beeping of construction equipment is just a constant reassurance that the work marches on. Through all this, the safe and compassionate care was always at the forefront of the plan. We cannot thank the community and the clinical teams enough for their understanding and patience. Collaboration has been the theme of this project. Thank you to the clinical leadership for the countless hours dedicated and devoted to the design work. Many physicians, nurses, and caregivers made many walks across the street to view full-scale mock-ups of patient rooms and ORs, and utilize virtual reality technology to imagine the space and help us design it in a way that would provide compassionate care. This advancement in technology will be there for many years to come and provide infection prevention enhancements that aren't there today. Your insight and knowledge have provided meaningful input, and it will help shape the care delivery space that will serve many future generations and put St. Thomas at the forefront in leadership in these areas. The MedExcel teams are proud to be a part of this project and today's celebration, and we're grateful for the thousands of hands that are involved in this project. Now I'd like to invite Jonathan back to the table so we can raise this beam while we have a moment.
Thank you, Matt, and thanks to all of our speakers who, it was great to hear about the exciting advancements that are going to be taking place here with Ascension St. Thomas. Once again, another round of applause for everyone for making this happen. And we are a go. The wind is held off enough where we can make this happen and actually raise the beam. It's time to witness the ceremonial milestone. The final beam raised to the highest level of the surgery and critical care tower. The beam has been in the Midtown cafeteria throughout the week to allow associates and patients and family members to sign the beam, leaving their signature or a blessing. And now if you can direct your attention to the surgery and critical care tower, together with our virtual viewers on YouTube, we're going to watch the raising of the final steel beam.
Everybody's attention real quickly. Just a few comments, because at times such as these, it's natural to reflect upon the past, as we've heard, and to look to the future. And we've also heard how important it's been to focus on the present. And I can personally tell you how important that's been as we've gone through this process. I was talking with Fahad earlier when we started, we were getting ready to start, that there's nothing good about the pandemic, but it was an opportunity that we did not let go by when this was being built at the same time as we were actually going through the pandemic and experiencing what patients and families actually need on a day-to-day basis at their most vulnerable. And I believe, as Matt mentioned earlier, just to let you know how involved this actually happened, there were mock-ups of ICU rooms, and we would literally go from the COVID ICU, removing our PPE, and walk over and look at a mock-up, make our suggestions, give our opinions, and then those were taken, and a year from now we'll see those come to life. So I don't know that that happens all the time. And that underscores another lesson, and sorry to call you out again, Fahad, but I'm going to have to. About 3.5 years ago or so, or whenever it was that you talked to us the first time about this project, you made the comment that any institution can build a building, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't put the people in that actually want to deliver the care and want to provide those services that are so valuable. And I can, without a doubt, to a person, tell you that this is what this building is going to mean and who is going to be filling it, from the nurses to the staff to the physicians to the administrators to the families. It's going to be an unparalleled experience. So thank you to everybody. And right now I'd like to introduce Dr. Mark Rosen, our Chief of Surgery, for a few comments.
Thanks, Steve. I also want to thank all my colleagues and everyone here today to join in this celebration. I'm also very grateful that the technology are able to get this to people that can't be here today, that they can experience this special occasion as well. For 100 years, surgeons have been care for this community at this hospital, and this hospital has always been in the forefront. Even though there's a university nearby, there have been many firsts that have taken place right here at this institution. In '71, Dr. Fowler did the first total joint in the region. 1973, Dr. Hardin placed the first nuclear pacemaker that was in the South region. In 1985, this was the first lithotripsy center in the state of Tennessee. And also, Dr. Glasscock performed the first cochlear implant in the country. 1988, now Dr. Reddick and Dr. Olson thought they had the first laparoscopic cholecystectomy in the country. However, they were beat by 2 months earlier by someone in Georgia. However, Dr. Reddick was the first to do laser surgery incorporated into laparoscopic surgery. And this hospital was the first in the nation to be a laparoscopic center. And they had people come from all over the world to train in laparoscopic surgery. Also in 1999, we were the first hospital in the state of Tennessee to get accredited for stereotactic biopsies. So through the growth in these operating room suites, the increase in patient beds, and the state-of-the-art technology, Ascension St. Thomas is bringing the best patient care and experience to the state of Tennessee. The surgery department, we express great appreciation for the investment in the surgical and critical care tower. We look forward to the future and making a lot more firsts. So with that said, I'd like to say that may the best of our past be the worst of our future. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Mark. And I think the time has come that we can raise a toast to this achievement. So everybody here and everybody who's joining us virtually, if you can raise your glass, and we can toast to this milestone in the modernization project at Ascension St. Thomas Midtown Hospital and the future of the premier medical campus in this area. Cheers. All right. Thank you.
Before we go, I'd like to extend a special thank you to each of you who joined us this evening, both in person and virtually watching on YouTube. Again, thank you for joining us for this great milestone. Cheers to our hospital of the future, right? This is outstanding. And that concludes the virtual session of today's program. I think we can all agree after hearing about the great things going on across the street, it's time to take a look for ourselves. I invite you to stick around and take the hard hat tour with us. You are absolutely invited across the street. You take the elevator to the street level, you cross the street to the surgery and critical care tower, and then you follow the path that's marked with signage. I'll follow you guys because I'm not good with directions, but I can't wait for this. Our speakers and senior leadership teams, we ask that you will stay back briefly for some photos. But with that concludes today's program. Again, congratulations to Ascension St. Thomas and everyone involved. Thank you for joining us this evening.